Joining me now live, senior advisor to the Trump campaign, Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Sarah, good to see you as always. Thanks for being here. So let me just put this out here. 90 minutes, no commercial breaks, one-on-one. That's tough for anybody. Has he really not done one mock debate, 90 minutes, with somebody pretending to be Hillary Clinton?
No, not in that setting, but he has prepared in the way that's best for him, and I think that's what's most important. Look, Donald Trump, in a way, has been preparing for this for the last year and a half, if not his whole life. He's been out with the people doing long events, doing rallies. He survived against 16 far more credible candidates than Hillary Clinton in the Republican primary, and he came out on top, and so there's no reason to change that strategy. People are looking for somebody to be authentic. They're looking for the change agent in this race, and nobody can argue that that's not Donald Trump.
Well, he's certainly different. So let me ask you, one of the things that I think people are wondering about is which Donald Trump will show up. Sometimes he goes out and he's very restrained. Other times he goes out and, you know, you saw the clip, I'm sure, earlier when he calls this one's a choke artist and little Marco and this and that. I don't think he ever said anything nasty about your dad, thankfully.
Well, because he's such a good guy. There's nothing bad to say.
Nothing to criticize about Governor Huckabee. But is he planning on being the restrained version, or should we just expect him to be himself?
I think that all of those things are Donald Trump, and I think that's exactly what you can expect, and that's why he doesn't have to take weeks off the campaign trail to go and cram for the debate. It's because he is who he is. That's why people like him. That's why America is rallying behind him. There's so much energy and enthusiasm behind him, unlike anything I've ever seen for a general election Republican nominee.
But to be fair, I mean, one of the things that people like him is that he shoots from the hip, but one of the things that people don't like about him is they're concerned about his temperament. I mean, up to 60% of the American people in a recent Washington Post ABC News poll that had it a very close race said that they had concerns about Donald Trump's temperament. In fact, one of the things that got a lot of news today in Washington, D.C. is the Senate Democratic leader, Harry Reid, who obviously is very partisan, but still used language that is very unusual on the Senate floor criticizing Donald Trump. Take a listen.
Donald Trump is a racist. Donald Trump doesn't believe the racist things he does and said are wrong. He says them with full intent to demean and to denigrate. That's who he is.
If Hillary Clinton says something similar about comments that Donald Trump has made that seem to have crossed the line, offending many millions of Americans, Muslim Americans, Latino Americans, other Americans, how's he going to handle it?
Look, I think Hillary Clinton made the most offensive statement in this campaign when she called so many Trump supporters, veterans, moms, teachers, people like myself, deplorable. And she showed the utter contempt that she has for so many Trump supporters. And I think she showed us her true colors there. And I think she's got a lot more to answer for than Donald Trump.
Well, when pushed about that, the Clinton campaign says she was referring specifically to the alt-right supporters that you have, the neo-Nazis, the members of the Klan, the proud racists, not you, not veterans, but those individuals who clearly are supporting your campaign.
Well, I'm glad she certainly clarified that, because that's certainly not the way that it came across, and I don't believe that that's what she meant at all. Look, here's the bottom line. You're going to have two candidates on this stage with an extremely clear contrast. You've got one that's a career corrupt politician, and you've got another one that's new, that's a change agent in a race where 70% of Americans are looking for change. To me, that contrast sets them apart. I think just the debate preparation alone shows us what these two candidates are like, and I think that's why it favors Donald Trump, and he's going to do very well tonight.
We'll see. Sarah Huckabee Sanders, thanks so much.